If I had you addressed on camera, and there's a lot of the youth watching, especially like a lot of the athletes, maybe they're already in college or whatever. You talked about the 5 Ps in the book. If you could talk about those were, I thought that was very powerful. That was one line that really stuck out in there.
Well, you know, my first thing before I get to that,
Okay.
what I would say to young people, to students, to athletes, to older adults, don't start. You know, if you don't smoke, if you don't drink, if you don't use drugs, don't start. If you do smoke, if you do drink, if you do use drugs, stop. And I like to try to keep it simple, and that's really what it is. Now, it takes a lot of work, you know, to end your addiction, to recover from your addiction. But the first step is to stop. And, you know, many people are in denial, and so was I for years
Certainly.
and years. Yeah. You know, people were telling me that I was drinking too much. I thought alcohol was my friend.
Yeah.
You know, they were saying that I would getting high too much. Well, I didn't think that. I just thought that maybe I had a little bit too much to drink sometime, you know. And there are many people that feel that way.
And when you're younger, you feel indestructible. You know, nothing can hurt you.
That's another good point. As a young person, as a teenager, you know, your personality changes when you're under the influence, and you think you're super, you think you're invulnerable, you know, and that's when you have your accidents, that's when you get injured, and that's when you can end your life really abruptly. You know, when you're in your teens, you don't think about dying. You don't think about, you know, how vulnerable you are.
Right. GBU, that's the place that you're gonna, you know, you have 150 to 200 beds. It's on Dexter in Detroit, Michigan. You're helping a lot of young men who have had alcohol or drug problems. You want to, and give everybody your webpage too, so they can hear about your book, read it, maybe even purchase this book. It's a great book, especially for the youth to read, or anybody really that needs to get back or just wants to read a fabulous story. Talk about your webpage, and then of course the Get Back Up facility.
GBU stands for Get Back Up Incorporated, and as I said before, that's my personal philosophy. When life knocks you down, get back up. My vision was to start a drug and alcohol rehabilitation facility. So I went about fundraising and was really blessed to get my message to people that not only wanted to help, were able to help, and were willing to help. So I did a lot of fundraising, and I purchased a school in Detroit, one of the many closed schools, and I'm converting it to one of the largest drug and alcohol treatment facilities in the state. And as you mentioned, the capacity could be 150 to 200.
That's amazing.
And
to start, that's a high number, I think.
Absolutely. And you know, I've always dreamed big and thought big, but it's really to help people. I know the need is big. It's a great need, particularly in the city of Detroit, across the country actually, but since, you know, Detroit is home, is personal for me, I wanted to start a facility to help people learn the lessons that I've learned, and that's simply how to live without drugs and alcohol. But Get Back Up is located at 12305 Dexter Avenue in Detroit. That's between Cortland and Sturtevant. Our website is BT, my initials, btgetbackup.com. So if anyone want to go online and read more and see what I'm doing, what we're doing at the facility, it's under reconstruction. But once again, it's btgetbackup.com.
BT is in Billy Taylor, getbackup.com. And
Correct.
I'll tell you what, you go to the webpage at getbackup.com, it is a sensational story, and you talked about the different ways to get your life back on track. And I think you're trying to reach a lot of young men too that are fathers and have lost their way, and they need to get their life back together now while they're still young. You're gonna have a lot of young men there probably, I would imagine.
Absolutely. I mean, to see a person's life change, as mine have, and many others that have recovered, it's just a ripple effect. You know, wives get their husbands back, children, boys and girls get their fathers back, parents get their son or daughters back, grandparents get their grandchild back. those persons become taxpayers instead of takers. You know, they're doing positive things in the community, they're raising their family.
Preaching and teaching.
Preaching, that's right. Every family, I don't know of anyone that I've ever met that didn't have someone that has not been touched in a negative way by drugs and alcohol.
Family, every family.
Every
Yeah,
family.
absolutely. And you know, it's been a great run for you, Billy. And I can honestly tell you, as a young person, everybody wanted to go out and be number 42, and especially if you lived in the state of Michigan. And I know I watched those games, I saw those games, and I watched the old highlight reels. And your story is phenomenal. And I hope that you reach many, especially the youngsters out there that are at that age, 18 to 22. And I know your mom, Mariah, is very deep in your heart. And of course, you lost your father at a very young age. But if you could overcome all that, plus get knocked down twice and come back a third time, I think that says something. I think the book is great reading. I think you've done wonderful with your job. University of Michigan, lost it all, got it back. Billy Taylor, it has been a great ride for you.
Thank you very much. I feel honored. I feel blessed to be here. I'm happy to be on your show, and moreover, I'm happy to be alive and doing well and feeling well. I mean, because I've been through a lot, you know, but a lot of the lessons I learned as a Wolverine about hard work, a positive attitude, perseverance, you know, winning, all of those things came back into play when I cleared my head and thought about what I needed to do to regain my life. In order to get back up, I had to work hard.
And he did get back up. I love the name, and it's something that we all can do. We're going to take a break. We'll be back to close it out with a final thought. My thanks to Dr. Billy Taylor. We'll be right back, and right from the author.
I think it breaks a little to the left.
To the right.
Nope, straight.
I told you it was going right.
Get up, get up, get up, and be a player. Get up, get up, get up. Get up, get up, get up, and be a player. Get up, get up, get up. Get up, get up, get up, and be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day.
For fun playtime ideas, go online. Just don't stay long.
I want to thank everybody for watching Right from the Author. It's a show that I've really wanted to do for years, and we got it off the ground here at TV Warren, and I'm very grateful. We had a great guest here today, and Dr. Billy Taylor, who has a great story. And you talk about getting back up, the tough knocks in life. Losing a ball game, those all seem like important things. Losing Rose Bowls, and winning big games in the Big Ten, and losing games in the Big Ten. But then there's the game of life, and you must go out and tackle that and pursue that. Billy Taylor not only won some big games and lost some big games, but he had some tough losses in the game of life, but he was able to get back up. The book is worth reading. Get Back Up, Billy Taylor, and go to getbackup.com and find out more about the Billy Taylor story. Thank you for watching. I'm Joe Cochran. Thank you, Dr. Billy Taylor.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.